What is up, everyone? It's Jira Bro back with the another video. Today it's going to be all about the Atlassian Guard, and we're talking about the Atlassian Guard. The Basically, it's a product to actually have a real-time detections within your Atlassian products. So we're actually talking about adding users some detections for API tokens, or if the user was actually viewing the some of the Jira issues for really short periods of time, which can actually inflict the malicious activity. So this is actually pretty great if you want to have and keep an eye on those kind of things. So the very first thing that you will be introduced by is going to be your alert dashboard. And within your alert dashboard, you're going to have your timestamp in here, what was the alert, who was the actor, what was the product about, and what is the status of it. So as you can see, there are like two, well, for now, like two detection types, which is user activity and the content scanning as well. You also can filter by, let's say, admin API key created or admin API key revoked. And there's some more stuff that you can add, basically for the actor, product, site, or the status itself. So this is what we got, and this is basically the thing that you have. So actually, this is in the real time. So this is like the dashboard, the overview, and this is how your overview looks like. Now if you go for the detections, we have the first two detections, and this one is for the user activity detections. So there are like a lot of stuff in here that can actually be connected with different products, like for the admin, for example. This is adding or removing the verified domains. And if we actually expand this, so all of these intervals are in the real time. So when you verify a domain, you validate that your company owns all user accounts of that domain. Verifying domain gives you the ability to claim and manage accounts of that domain and apply security policies to those accounts. When you remove a domain, your organization no longer manages those accounts. So we have this. Then we have the admin API key changes. This actually can be something that, well, you should be aware of. So it says when the admin API key, with the admin API key, a user can authenticate with Cloud Apps, keeping the verification steps and retrieve the data from the instance through the REST APIs. Oh, okay, that doesn't sound really good. And what happens if this is compromised? Critical security measures can be bypassed to access and exfiltrate large amounts of your data. So every detection in here has its link that actually gets you there, so you can learn more about these things. And since these are like the security wise, you should be, well, I'm not saying you should like go ahead and learn uh, all everything about this, but seeing that there are, well, some interesting amount of these data, you can actually take like a 5 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes to actually read through those articles and to see what actually is in there, like the anonymous access to the Confluence, right? So you already know about this one, or the anonymous access to Jira, that basically anyone can search the results unless you're using an IP allow list to control the access. So That is another thing where you actually can specify which IP addresses have the access to your Jira site, so they can actually access it. But then, there are some other things that actually come along in there. So what if that certain user is like they're working from home and you have one IP address already recorded, but they're using the VPN, right? Because they're working with the sensitive data. So they might actually get blocked from the site. So a lot of stuff are actually happening in here. For this is actually interesting one. Atlassian administration audit log exports. So you want to make sure the export was generated intentionally. So you wanna we will want to make sure that it's actually in there. And you have Confluence page crawling. What actually this is? So this is when a user views a normally high number of Confluence pages in short period of time, which can be sign of an automated bot, or it could be actually the sign of the malicious user activity, that they're actually having the intent of exfiltrating the data. And in here, if I want to have more alerts on this. So I want to be I want to be I want to be sure about this one. I want to know what is going on with this. Then you have data policy security changes. So a lot of stuff is actually um, in here, like user impersonation detects when an admin logs in as the another user. Okay, this is actually interesting, because you have that option as an admin to log in as a different user. But I tell you what, if someone has that malicious intent within your company, as as someone who is administrating the whole site, uh, I believe that in pretty short period of time, someone actually would not notice this, and I believe that that person would get fired pretty quickly. So I don't think it's really smart for them to actually do that. Sure, you can actually do this in order to see if the permissions have been, let's say, applied in a correct way, so that user, for example, cannot access some issues, right? So that actually can be done, and this is something in here that can actually be detected. Now there is also an option where you can request a new detection here. Okay, I see. Okay, this is the detection that you're actually sending out to the Atlassian, so they can review what you were trying to have. Content scanning. All right, so there are detections like Atlassian tokens, where the region is global, for example, type credentials, and the product is for the Confluence, for example. So that is something that we have. And content scanning detection rules monitor for sensitive data or personal data being added to Confluence pages. These detections generate alerts for any potentially concerning sensitive content that requires the review. And there are a lot of stuff in here, because um, a lot of insensitive information can actually be included within your Jira and Confluence, and some people and some organizations do actually do this. So this is actually pretty great, in order if you want to be monitoring everything. But if you are actually within your organization and everything is like trustworthy, I mean, you're actually there, and you know that most of the things are like trustworthy, right? But you actually never know someone's intention. Let's say, what if that employee gets fired, and he decides to actually make some chaos within your company, to disrupt your Jira, to disrupt your Confluence spaces with some of the financial data that was actually in there, and they just start to exploitate those with the space with the space exporting. That would be pretty nasty, right? And the last but not least, what we have in here are some of the integrations with either Slack, Teams, or SE SIEM forwarding. So this SIEM is usually being used in cybersecurity, where security analysts are using these types of tools in order to detect the real life, um, or real time activity on the network or on the sites within that company, like when someone was logging into the website, when it was, who it was, and etc. And you also have the integration with Splunk. That is also something that has to do with cybersecurity. I'm not really into that field, but if some of you are, I believe that that integration can actually work as well. So you can actually integrate your Atlassian Guard with the Splunk as well. So a lot of interesting things are actually in here, especially that you can really monitor about the incidents and monitor about the activity that is going on within your Atlassian Cloud organization. So this is like introducing the cybersecurity within the Atlassian Cloud, where one product is actually doing this, which is the Atlassian Guard itself. So yeah, that would be it for today's video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.